Alright, in this video, we're going to be talking about fear and how to overcome it in BMX. That could be as small as trying to learn a manual, or going over a ramp, or it can be as big as trying to do a backflip. Now, you're never going to completely overcome that fear of doing those. Eventually, you're just going to have to commit and do it. Doing a backflip, you're still going to be afraid, even if you've done everything beforehand to get you prepared for that. Fear is the unknowing. You're afraid to do that manual, afraid to do that backflip because you don't know if you're going to end up landing on your head and get hurt. But eventually, you're just going to have to commit and do it. There's multiple exercises you can do for multiple tricks in BMX to get you mentally prepared for what's going to happen during the trick. That could be having a buddy help you out get the feeling for doing a manual, which aren't too dangerous, but you still have the risk of hitting your head. Or that could be going over a box jump. Now, obviously, you probably don't want to start out on a huge jump, maybe just a small little ramp to get the feeling of what it's like in the air, how to control your bike in the air, and how to just have yourself in the air. BMX is a dangerous sport, and you will get hurt eventually. And like I said, there's multiple things you can do to prevent yourself from getting hurt or hurt as badly. Now, if you're trying to learn a tail whip, you might get a couple shinners, but you can easily prevent that with some shin pads and proper protection. A manual, if you're doing a manual, you have the risk of looping out, but you can catch yourself, and before you land on your back, you won't get hurt. In a backflip, if something goes wrong, you probably do have more chance of getting hurt. Same if you're doing a tail whip over a jump or anything like that. But there's exercises you can do, there's tips on YouTube that will help you prepare for doing that trick. If you want to learn, say, the tail whip, there's multiple videos that will teach you how to do a tail whip, what you need to learn beforehand, the steps you need to take in the air in doing it, and everything like that. There's exercises you can do on the ground that will get the feel for it, but like I said, eventually you have to full send it. If you're going to half send that, and you're going to slow down before the ramp because you're scared, you're probably going to have more of a chance of failing because you're not going to get enough air, you're going to mess up in the middle of the jump, because in midair you're going to see you're not as high as you need to be able to do it, and in the middle of the 360 you might land wrong, fall over and get hurt. So if you're going to attempt to do a trick, do it the right way, get the adequate amount of speed, so you have enough air that you're not going to wipe out and get hurt. If you're going to do, like I say, if you're trying to do a backflip and you're going slow up the ramp, you're obviously not going to have enough speed or air to be able to do a full backflip. In the middle of the air, if you slow down in your backflip because you're scared, you probably will land on your back and get hurt or maybe seriously injured. So that's why you need to just go as fast as you need to. And in midair, you don't want to chicken out on what you're doing, because like I said, you will get hurt if you do that. If you're going to get hurt, at least get hurt actually attempting the trick. You don't want to get hurt, be out of BMX for like a month or something because you chickened out and you failed the trick just because of your own choices. But I wouldn't go as extreme as a backflip, obviously, right away. Just get used to the normal tricks, because you probably won't be doing backflips for maybe 2 years tops. You're going to learn the basics, manuals, fakies, 180s, 360s, pretty much all the basics like that. And then you can start getting to more advanced things like 360 tail whips and obviously so forth. I am a new rider myself, but this is just my 2 cents on how I started overcoming the little fears in BMX. I myself was afraid of going over the bigger jumps, trying out manuals, doing things like that, because I was afraid myself that I was going to get hurt. And like I said, I would half send it. I wouldn't go fast enough, and that did result in a few painful moments, but they were nothing that caused me to be out of BMX for a certain time. So as long as you can just send it, go fast enough, and just, you will be able to get that trick down. Obviously, it's going to maybe take a few attempts, you're going to get hurt, but in BMX, you have to understand, and this will help overcoming fears, that you are going to get hurt. But if you're trying to do the trick and you're not slowing down and you're full sending it and you're taking all the little steps before doing the trick, all the tips, you're watching videos on it and everything like that, you probably will have a really good chance of actually completing it with minimal injury, if any. I recently met some BMXers, and one of them told me the exact thing I'm telling you, is you have to full send it. You can't do a half send, because otherwise you are going to end up getting hurt. You want to be able to get the adequate amount of speed. He told me the same thing I'm telling you now. Full send it, and just, you have to be confident. It's going to be hard to be confident, but once you get that trick down, it's not going to be scared to do anymore, because you've already done it, you know how to do it, and that is why it's scary for the first couple times, because you've never done it. You don't know what's going to happen, but once you do it, you know what's going to happen, because you've done it, you mastered it, and you can do it. Just like with a tail whip. If you're going over the jump and you try it the first time, you're obviously going to be scared, you're not going to know what's happened. But once you do that tail whip, you know how to control it in air and actually get it around and land it. But that's all for this video. It's kind of all over the place. Like I said, I'm a new rider myself. So if you're looking for tips on how to do certain tricks, this is probably not where you want to be, but this is just what I did and like how I kind of got over the fears. You're still going to be scared. You can be a pro BMXer and try out a new trick and you will still be scared because you've never done it before. But once you do it, you're not going to be afraid anymore. So just my tips for you would just be to full send it. You know, don't full send to where you're going to hurt yourself. Like you say, okay, you're going to try tail whip. Don't just full send the tail whip. Do the on-ground exercises that they have for that, and then you can try it in air. Because if you're just going to go and you're like, all right, I'm going to do a tail whip, and you just start full sending, you probably will get hurt. You know, you're not looking at any tips, you're not listening to what anyone's telling you, or anything like that. It's probably better to just listen to people and do what they're telling you, and then do the exercises, and then start going for the actual tail whip in the air. So that's probably all for this video, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye.